What's going on, y'all? This is another episode of Design Detox with Deondra, and I got my boy. Ooh, can I even say it? Say that one name? Cocaine. I want to say cocaine. Look,
The streets know.
the streets know. Hey, if you know, you know. All right, cocaine Cori, man.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you having
What's
me.
the government name, though?
The Cori Jones, or most people
Yeah.
know me as Cori. Cori created.
That's it, man.
Yeah.
Cool, man. So I got my boy on here, man. So, man, man, introduce yourself, man. However you feel, brother.
Okay, cool. Well, like you said, I'm Cocaine Cori, also known as Cori Jones.
Yeah.
I've been doing photography for about 10, 11 years now.
Woo.
Started in college. It kind of just came out of nowhere, but I don't want to sound too dramatic. It really kind of saved my life a little bit.
I hear you, man.
Going through college, kind of hit that sophomore slump,
Mm-hmm.
and then you just needed something to kind of find your calling, and that's what it was. So
That's what's up, bro.
I mean, I can go into detail, but
Yeah. Hey, we can touch on that later, though.
Okay,
man.
cool.
But, no, I'm just thinking like who, like your background. We just want to start there, like on who you are.
hmm
Your values. Like who inspired you with certain values that you hold like today. You know.
Uh, I would definitely have to say my dad.
Mm-hmm.
Um, he passed away 2, 3 years ago, but what I will say is, growing up, when you're a kid, you hear your parents say so many different things. You're like, man, like, yeah, I hear you, this and that. But as you get older, you start realizing like all those lessons that they were trying to instill in you, they really hold, deep in within you. So I would say one of the things that really he taught me, or really I took away from him, was no matter what you go through, just try to be a good person to people. Um, I feel like nobody's perfect, and he would even tell you, he was far from perfect, but I always felt like he had a good heart, and no matter how he might have came off to certain people, I knew deep down like doing good would always come back to you in
Right.
some fashion, whether it be indirectly or directly. Um, also, a lot of people, I feel like a lot of people don't notice about me, but I am like kind of competitive, but
All right.
in a good way though. Like I think that I can trash talk, I can have fun with it, but it's more so for me. My One of my biggest inspirations growing up was Kobe, RIP. So
Yeah.
that mama mentality, like before it was even like coined a phrase, like I realized how much he had an impact on me, even when I was playing basketball myself. But I just took that, I guess, that mentality outside of anything I did, whether it be photography, school, um, I don't know, foot race, whatever we were doing, like just knowing, like giving it my all. Like that's kind of what I try to do in most things in life. So
Okay, man. Man, you talking about your father and man being what did you say, like a good person.
hmm
Like tell us something that stood out, an example of being a good person.
in regards to him or just myself.
Regards to him that you kind of hold, like that you can
hmm
think of when you're being a good person, you know?
Yeah. When I was a kid, like I didn't really realize this. So he's not my biological father, right?
Mm.
But he was there when, like, before I was born. Him and my mom, they met when she was like 4 months pregnant with me. And I don't know. I just feel like, it takes a stand up guy to take on the kid that's not even his, but then also treat him like he's your own. And he never once made me feel like, at any point, or I feel like my mom too, like at any point he could just leave, or like it was a real commitment to that.
Right.
And that doesn't necessarily make you a good person, but you can pull from that. Like I feel like all the lessons like he would give me, like growing up, like think for yourself. Uh, he would always tell me he was proud of me. He really was like the only one that would tell me that consistently.
Wow.
And I didn't realize that until I got older and how much that actually did for me. Um, and as I'm getting older, I'm realizing like when I'm working with people or just even family, like my younger siblings, like it's important for me to say that to them.
Yeah.
So that's just something, I want to carry on as I get older.
Man, that's awesome, bro.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Man, that's cool. Man, I love to ask that question to really kind of get to know a little more, about individuals. So, man, just kind of moving on though, like you're in photography. That's the only thing you're into.
So over the last 2-3 years, this videography has been picking up. Just
Okay.
kind of adapting to the market, finding new ways to grow. So yeah.
Okay, cool, man. And then what's this hat you got on here? What's going on there?
So this hat is part of a project created. The logo, courteous of your own. Swan Dine hooked me up, but but I love hats, and I couldn't. I love hats, but I also was inspired by my good friend Sean Fresh. Like he started his brand with Fresh University, and he kind of pushed me to like just go for it. So it's still in the beginning stages, but I think Project Creator is gonna turn into something that's further than just apparel and what you just see on the outside.
Definitely, man.
So
We're gonna put a pin in that. We're gonna have to talk about that a little more later, though.
okay, cool.
But man, let's talk about this journey. Okay, you said you found photography in college, but what were you going to college like to be?
So I would say second, like the last month of high school, I wasn't even going to college. I didn't know what I was gonna do. I was just gonna graduate and just be an adult. But my girlfriend, fiance now, but my girlfriend at the time, she
Come on, shout out.
All right, Jakara, I love you, baby girl.
Hey, yeah.
But she at the time, she kind of inspired me to go to college. And I had an aunt. She was in real estate, so I talked to her, and she was just like, "Yeah, although you don't need to go to college for real estate, I feel like it would be a good way to, get further ahead once you graduate." So I went for finance with the emphasis in real estate, and like I said, my second year just kind of went through that sophomore slump, grades slipping, not really focused. Kind of feeling alone,
Yeah, is that what they call it? I didn't know what was going
Sophomore,
on.
yeah, just
same thing.
same thing. So then, at the time, like my barber, shout out you, RJ. He was like, he kind of noticed like I just wasn't myself. So he's like, man, you need a hobby, or you need something. So he sold me his camera, and you know how I told you I was competitive earlier, right?
Yeah.
So it didn't really click all the way, like how I could take this new thing and like incorporate it to like who I am, like inside, right? So I had it. It just sat for a second. Then I was like, man, let me take this serious, and I turned my friends into models. And at the time, like my friends from high school, they wasn't really rocking with it all the way.
Yeah.
So it forced me to go meet new people, and one of those people was Bruce Davis. Like, and I consider him a brother now. Like he's a fashion designer, but he really kind of helped me find a lane in photography, which was fashion and lifestyle. So he would make designs, I would shoot them, and then after so long, he gave me a key to his house because I needed somewhere to shoot indoor to learn studio. So keep in mind, like I barely knew him, like after a year or so. You don't really know somebody after just a year.
Yeah.
But he gave me a key, and I'm
Dang.
forever grateful for that because it really like helped me grow my business at the time. And just other people I met along the way, Jasmine Blunt, like I said, Sean Fresh, just everybody kind of, it was like this mini family of just me growing and me getting more inspiration in what I was doing. So
That's awesome, man. Helping you get molded. But man, you said something. There was a lot of things that stood out.
yeah.
But you said you're gonna take this camera,
Mm.
but then incorporate it, being able to use who you like are, or something like that. Like, can you break that down for us?
So in high school, and really just most of my childhood, like I was very into basketball, sports,
Okay.
being out, like uh, wanted to like turn everything into like a mini competition, so to speak. But when I got to college, I mean, yeah, it was cool going to the gym playing, but after leaving, it was like I felt like it was nothing else outside of school and work.
Mm-hmm.
So photography really kind of like took a lot of that free time and turned it into something that I could push myself. Just like having that competitive drive, but also realizing like, and I didn't realize this until later, like I'm not really competing with other people. It's
Mm-hmm.
more so of me feeling, accomplished within myself. Whether I fail or not, like me trying is already a win. Me me planning a shoot, me helping other models or people live their dream of being behind the camera or in front of the camera, I should say.
Mm.
Uh that kind of was like the the void I was missing once I wasn't able to like be with my day one friends playing basketball.
Mm-hmm.
So that helped me make new friends, new connections, and now kind of I've turned it into a business, and I feel like that's a victory in its own. So
That's what's up, man.
yeah.
So I'm curious. Like, I played sports,
Mm,
football. I started or whatever. You know how they call it.
yeah.
I wasn't that good, but I started. But man, like, there was this identity thing. Like, when you don't have this sports anymore, or this thing that you're doing anymore. Like, are you saying, I'm kind of hearing, or maybe like a fragment that I'm hearing is, the competition is just against your older self. You just trying to grow and be better. Maybe that's what I'm hearing. Is that
Yeah,
it?
yeah, you put it precisely, like that's what it is. Yeah,
Okay,
I guess I
man.
was trying to like,
No, you broke it down for
yeah.
us though. That's what's up, man. So,
Yeah,
but I just wanted to make sure, I'm hearing that right.
you
That's what's
got it.
up,
You got
man.
it. Yeah,
That's what's up. It takes a lot of people a long time to like have that mindset. I think that's wise in people who think that way,
appreciate
man. Yeah, man. So, okay, this is good, man.
it.
This is good.
We doing good so far.
Hey, we're doing good, man. Man, okay, we know some of the background. Okay, we're meeting new people.
Hmm.
All right. So, at what point did you like really know, like, man, this thing needs to be turned into what we call this business, as you would say?
Uh, Let me see. So, I'm doing. I'm finding anybody who wants to shoot. Just
Mm-hmm.
kind of starting off, me developing my skills, and I am actually getting clients at the time, but I'm not really looking at it as a business. I would say, um, I got a good friend. Her name is Miriam Kamara. She actually, she had a vision of like starting her own fashion show back in 2017 or 18.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's called One Love Fashion. And she approached me, and she's a model herself.
Okay.
But she approached me and was like, "Hey, Cori, I want to give back. I want to, some of the like aspiring models out here. Like, I want to kind of help people live out that dream." So me and her, we kind of organized this whole fashion show within 2 or 3 months, and it turned out great. And that really showed me like, okay, what I've been doing is cool, but now starting, I need to get more intentional.
Mm.
So, although I love working with models and helping people grow within what they want to do, I need to try to figure out what I'm doing myself. So after that fashion show, I went, had a logo made, had a website made.
Oh
But
man, what
but
year was this? Was
this
2017?
2017, 18. But I'm just like, I'm just doing what people
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 say
do.
and
People
do.
say and do. Like,
You need a logo.
yeah,
You
you need
need
a
a
logo, this
website.
and that, and I'm like, oh, that look cool. This is go right. And we talked about this before. Like, in a way, I felt like now looking back at it, I was really hustling backwards. Like I was,
Man.
I had the right idea. Oh, I had the right idea, but it was more so like I didn't really take the time to identify like what my niche was. Uh, and you kind of taught me some of the things about like, does your logo speak to your audience?
Yeah, man.
As far as like me having like my values together and things like that. So I went so long with like just kind of disregarding these things until like I got to a point to where I felt like I was hitting this like ceiling of like, why can't I like from a financial standpoint, why can't I like get past this barrier of like not charging what I feel like I'm worth?
Yep.
And it was really because I wasn't presenting myself like the work was there, like the quality of work was there, per se, but I wasn't reaching the people that I needed to reach.
Yeah, man.
And I also wasn't really positioning myself the way it should have been. Like it looks cool on social media, but we all know it has to go further than that.
Exactly, man.
So I would say, after so long, just meeting people, kind of doing research, mentors, you was a big part of that too. That's when like I turned that curve and really started to, I guess, start like the next chapter of me growing, Cori created.
Wow, man.
Yeah.
Dude, hey, that's a clip right there, man. That's good. Man, that's cool, man. Man, you was talking about like being in position and the logo having to, to speak to the audience. But I just want to, I guess, sort of take a break and talk about, and just hear your perspective on what is art. Because art, like photography, is an art form. But it also kind of, just like the logo, but a logo is a more of a, what do you call it? Objective form. It needs to have a certain function, right? And then, of course, you see all these paintings around here. It's like these are subjective. You know what I'm saying? At its core, right?
Right.
So it's just like, how do you separate this subjective and objective factor, or does it just depend on what you're doing?
That's a good question. Man, people will tell you like anything can be art, right?
Yeah.
And to a certain extent, like they're not lying, but I truly feel like there got to be some intent behind it.
Yeah.
Reasoning, right? Like I might draw a picture and I might have like the idea of like this picture. When people see this picture, I want them to feel good, but it might make some people sad. But just because it didn't do what I wanted to do, it's still art. Because it's, I don't know, I can't really think of the technical definition of art, but I would assume it's something like just a piece of work that provokes emotion, right?
Yeah.
So I think it really comes down to like what you respect as art, because and this is no shade, but like some people would get a piece of paper and make squiggly lines and they'll put it in the gallery and they'll call it art, right? And that it is art.
Or the tape banana. You seen that one?
I haven't.
Oh my goodness.
I haven't.
Hey,
but I just think that whatever speaks to you is kind of like what you see as art, and we naturally gravitate to the things we like, and sometimes we don't know why we like them, but that's where like the elements of art actually come into factor. Like with photography, like I didn't realize I liked certain photographers' work because of the composition, like lines in photos. Like a lot of people don't realize this unless you're into photography or art, but like connecting lines actually are more appealing, are usually are a more appealing photograph than like something that's just kind of, scattered everywhere. Like there's no intent behind it. There's no real true composition behind it.
Yeah,
So
those are like your symmetrical, asymmetrical. It
right.
has to, yeah, the
Yeah.
focus and all that. I know what you're talking about.
hmm
Yeah, yeah.
So I don't know. It's kind of
I
hard to
mean,
really
there's no, I don't know if there's a right answer, but I definitely wanted to ask that, man,
yeah.
because I was like, ooh, I gotta see, because you're in that field, you know.
hmm
I think most people they misjudge when I'm talking about like a logo. They're wanting to design like some art, and then now I have to sit and inform them of what I was just telling you, that subjective objective. It's like
Right.
you want this logo to do something, right?
hmm
If you make it art, then it's not gonna do anything but what, you know what I'm saying, the clients
Clients.
say that it's gonna do.
Yeah, it's true.
You gotta be, when you talk about position, put yourself in control. But anyways, man,
Okay.
dude, it's
Yeah,
like, yeah, you didn't know
okay.
he's gonna get a little bro funny. No, man. Moving on though, man. We learned about how that work, your perspective on photography. But man, like who inspires you? You talked about somebody that you liked. You know, who
hmm
was that one person that
Man,
you can say?
a lot of people inspire me actually.
Oh man.
I mean, I'll just start with photographers. Like, I follow this photographer out of New Orleans. His name is Nelson Cozy or
Mhm.
Kazi. Maybe I apologize.
Sir.
But his creativity is off the charts. Like, it's one thing to take a photo, but it's another thing to actually create what you see in your mind. Like
Mhm.
that, like I feel like that's him. Like, cause as photographers, like sometimes we lack resources or
Mhm.
materials and
Yep,
things.
yep.
Like he goes out and creates his own props. Like he's got a saw and wood. He's
Wow.
creating staircases and things of that matter. But I could also tell, like, it's with intent. Like, he's not just gonna go make something because it's cool. He's gonna make it because he knows, like, that's what people are looking for him.
Yeah.
So he's one of them. There's another one named Alan Cooley. He's from Atlanta, I think.
Mhm.
He's like an educator of photography.
Oh.
Yeah, he teaches lighting and composition and things of that matter. But he's more so like on the business side of like how to scale, what to charge for certain things, based on your market, how to I don't know, like just overall like the business
Yeah, I
side.
got you.
And then locally, like, we got Ray Visions, we got Q Photography, we got my man Alex, Crack Lens, and then people outside of photography, like my fiance, Jakara Stewart Brown by Design, like she does set designs.
Yeah.
Uh, she's been very instrumental in me growing. Sometimes people book me because of her, like
Yeah,
because they
man.
know she's gonna come and make it look all nice, whether it be maternity, birthday,
Yeah.
all different things. Sean Fresh, he comes, he's my personal PA, he's holding lights, but he also does other things. He
Yeah.
models, he sings. Really, anybody who's like living out what they want to do, like I draw inspiration from that.
That's what's up,
So
man. That's awesome. Man, tell us about this day to day though. What's that life like?
day to day. So I probably should be saying this, but I'm gonna say it anyway. So
Oh,
I I,
whoa,
I
what?
got I got a 9 to 5,
All right.
but it's really more like a 9 to 11.
Come on now.
So I work for a mortgage company, but I normally get up, try to knock it all out so I can go do what I do, right? So on most days I'm getting up, I'm probably editing photos or video before I'm actually going to get out and go shoot. Lately it's been a lot more video than photos,
Mhm.
and that's just kind of speaking to like where things are going. Um,
Whew.
so yeah, so like on a
Yeah.
weekday, I try to catch it before. I try to shoot within midday. That way, if I need to edit at night, I'm able to do that.
Yeah.
Um, some of the things that kind of come up like consultations for like whether it be photo or video. I'm just kind of like trying to understand the client,
Mm-hmm.
trying to understand what they actually need versus what they're telling me that they need. Um, I'm also, in a way, like I wish there was like an extra day in the week to where I could go back and like actually further my education of like what I'm doing. And that's kind of
Mm.
one of my challenges now, like trying to find an extra time to actually learn a little bit more. But I try to sneak that in, um, and to stay motivated. Like I listen to a lot of
Yeah.
podcasts, so I will say that it's chill when it's chill, but
Yep.
some days, I might actually have like 3 or 4 sessions. So I might only have like 30 minutes in between each session to,
Mm-hmm.
get my mind together, get my equipment, just go.
That's what's up, man. So yeah, you talked about some challenges. You talked about um, what was it you were saying? The video. That's what it was.
hmm
And that's where it's going. So can you break that down? What is this? That's where it's going.
So, man, shout out Bruce Davis. Like years ago, he was like, "Man, you need to do video. You need to do this. You need to do that." Like, and I was scared. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why I was scared, but I was scared to do video. Like, cause
It's another animal,
it's
man.
yeah, in my mind, like I don't want to put out something I feel like is mediocre. Not,
Yeah.
I don't care what I do care. Let me not lie, but it's more important what I think about it, right? And I wanted to get to a certain point to where I feel like it was good enough. So, but fast forward, after during COVID, we're all in the house. Instagram starts making changes of they're announcing like reels. Then you start seeing 70-80% of your timeline reels, and then just click like, man, like you
Mm.
know my everyday client, this is what they want, or this is what is in their face. Whether they book me for photos or not, I gotta start getting in their face with video. And just talking to other videographers too, I realized the price point was a little higher. So, I'm all down for doing more work shooting, but not having to do so much. So I went, took some months, practice, just asking anybody like to just do lifestyle video. And it's very there's some things that's similar to photography, but it's a whole nother like mindset. Like I can't fix something, not yet anyway, but I can't fix something in video like I could in
Oh yeah,
photos.
man.
So learning how to like uh, pre-plan for your shot a little bit more,
Mm-hmm.
just making that transition. And now I feel like it's so much more I still want to learn about it, but I feel like I got a good understanding of what video is.
I got you, man. Man, we're gonna move to those challenges. So you have those. What's another challenge? So you said the one was just education, just learning.
Yeah. Another one is I feel like I need an editor. But the thing is that I feel like in order to be an editor, a good editor at this, you kind of got to actually be passionate about it.
Mm.
Um, because, you know, it, and a lot of people don't know this, but for video and photography, like most of your time is actually on the computer.
Yeah.
Whether it be, you know, color grading or more creative edits, anything like that. Like that's kind of where your bread and butter is.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like I don't really know what to call my style, but I take pride in like people seeing my work and knowing it's mine before it's even said, right?
Yeah.
So finding an editor that I feel like can kind of emulate what I do, it's been kind of tough. Um, and I tried to like ask people or train people, but they didn't have that passion. And I get it. Like it takes a lot of time, and I can't
Man.
I can't babysit you, but at the same time, I won't settle for something that I feel like isn't what I want to be represented as. So
Exactly, man. No, that makes sense. Any more challenges, bro?
Uh, any more challenges? Honestly, like let me see, editor, education. Uh, at times, I feel like I need a creative space.
Mm.
So I actually have a home studio, but sometimes you don't want people in your house. And I realize when I am in like other people's spaces, that energy is like unmatched.
Mm.
Um, but that's overhead. Like I kind of go back and forth on like, man, do I want to spend X amount of money having a studio,
Mm.
or do I pocket that money and keep pushing until it's actually time? So I was actually gonna get a studio before COVID, but
What?
yeah, like I was like this close, but then like COVID happened, and at the time, it was great that I didn't get it,
Yeah.
but but after like the first year of COVID, I was getting so many clients, and I was like I was actually second guessing myself, like, dang, I should have got the studio.
Dang. Yeah.
But one day it's gonna happen. Like I know, but I don't want it to just be like a studio. I want it to be like a place where people can come and chill, edit, learn,
Mm.
connect. So
More than that, man.
yeah,
The bigger picture, man. That's what's up, man. Man, shoot, this is good, man.
you like,
This is
cool,
good.
cool,
Hey,
cool.
hey, hey. We're gonna move on, man, and we're gonna take the Corey today.
hmm
You've learned all these things, and I don't know at what age you would tell your younger self, but I'm sure you could think of a certain time, a certain year, where you needed some advice. You know what I'm saying? And if you had this advice, you know what I'm saying, it really would have like helped you move a little smoother on this great journey that you're going on, you know? Like
hmm
what would you tell your younger self?
Uh, that's a good question. I think I would tell myself to like emerge and actually enjoy the good times. Um,
Mm.
I I think sometimes I think too much. Like I'm always trying to think about what's next, or and this might sound very pessimistic, but like sometimes I wonder like why things feel so good in the moment,
Mm.
and it's very like it's annoying, like it's a battle within myself. So I think if I had like more affirmation when I was younger, of like just like being in the moment, like
Mm.
enjoying it to the fullest, not thinking about what yesterday was like, what tomorrow's gonna be like.
Mm.
I think that would have actually made me probably connect with people I met back then a little bit. Like we would have actually been a little more closer.
Wow.
So yeah, I
Dang.
would say like just enjoying in a moment.
Hey man. Shoot. Hey, that's a good one right there. It's always interesting what people say, man, and
Yeah.
why. But it's the greatest advice, when you're giving
Mm-hmm.
yourself. But man, what's next, man? You said the project.
Yeah. So project created, like I said, is I would I would define it as like just my creative playground, where I'm exploring like outside of photography, like what I want to like expand to, whether it be apparel, whether it be me helping other artists showcase their art. I want to do a trunk show at one point. Who knows? I might even start a podcast.
Oh yeah, you will. You will.
uh, so that's one thing. As far as like core creative media, like the actual, shooting, I won't lie to you. I'm in this place where I feel like the next step for me is finding the people who can help me identify like with my skill set where I should go. Like whether it be like big production set crew member, getting more education to actually, I don't know, maybe direct something, or maybe I actually just need to go open the studio and turn it into like this um artist playground in the sense. Like,
That thing that you.
yeah. And then like, personal life is kind of always there. Like, I'm currently engaged, so like I want to focus on actually getting married, um, making sure my family health is in order.
Mm.
So, you asked me about challenges earlier. Like, I think this is another challenge of me trying to
Balance.
balance. Yeah. So, uh, I got things in mind. It's just figuring out like what's first, what's second, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah. But see, speaking of that, you just open up another question, man. Like, if you was to put percentages to like family,
Mhm.
say business, and all of that different jazz, what would you want it to be if you had full control? You know.
If I had full control of, I would say about 40% my career in business. Uh, 30% me and my future wife and us growing. Was that 70?
Yeah.
and
That's
then
70.
and then the other 20 like my external family and friends. And then the other 10 would be um I don't know, we're just gonna leave it open to
Well,
whatever.
yeah, maybe that's for yourself because we
Yeah,
forget
yeah.
about having that time, you know. So
True.
that's good.
Yeah, yeah.
Man, last question, my favorite question. You gotta save it for last. And people answer this differently too, man. But with where you're going, you know, in this journey, right, in this business, just your life in general. You know, it doesn't even have to be business related, but it could be personal or business. Who would you like to be connected to like help you get to where you're going? That you know could probably help you.
Mm. Um, Honestly, I'm gonna say like one of the people who inspired me too. I feel like I need to travel and meet other photographers and just media people in bigger cities
Mm.
to kind of understand like how can I take what they do, whether I'm staying in Arkansas or not. How can I take what they do and apply it to like this smaller market? Because I think at times I question myself of like, should I be here or not? Because I feel like although I'm getting more of the clients that I want, is is this where I'm destined to be? Like,
Mm.
is the volume there? So I would say like I said, people like Nelson Cozy, like I feel like he would be able to give me a lot of information and advice on how to actually scale further up. Um, Also, I don't really know any therapists personally, but I learned a couple months ago business therapy is a real thing,
Mm.
and I would love to talk to a business therapist. Cause it's outside of business. Like I think it's more of like how to balance the two. So like I would say like those two people or would actually help me identify like my true next moves versus just like me kind of operating in what I think is right at the moment.
Man, yeah, that's dope. That's dope.
Yeah.
Man, you taking clients right now?
Of course.
All right,
Of
man.
course. Of course.
Man, this the time where usually depending on how the conversation go, it could have been in the middle. You could have told them, but we just been this been good, man. So
Cool.
we at the end. Like, how can they find you, connect with you? You know, how can they book? How can they learn more about you? All that different jazz, man. Let them know all those details.
Cool. So you can find me at on Instagram, Facebook, my website, Cori Created, and it's CORI Created with the DED at the end. Website is www.coricreated.com. Made by yours truly.
Hey, shout out.
um, Also, I have if if you're a brand looking to expand, um, but also develop your visual profile, whether it be social media, website, you're gonna need new images. You're gonna need video content, and I can definitely help you build that, whether it be from the standpoint of me just shooting it, me having consultations and planning sessions on like what that should look like, or if you just need like those family portraits, birthdays, I do those as well. But I'm really trying to like target people who want to grow in what they do. So
That's awesome, man. Y'all heard it from the man. Cocaine, Cori. That stuck. I can't call him the Cori Jones, whatever. Y'all already know, brother. I appreciate you for coming on, man.
Appreciate you, man.
This has been good, brother.
Yes, sir.
Hey, y'all hit him up. Deuces.